Hey you guys, Jeremy from Plastic Fantastic Climbing, and let me just start off by apologizing. I'm really sorry. I, with full intentions, wanted to create all this content for you guys this year, and it just didn't happen. I have to admit, I really love my job as a photographer. If you guys didn't know, that's what I do here in LA. I'm a celebrity fashion lifestyle photographer here in town, just like everybody else in Los Angeles. And got super caught up with it. Did some really dope stuff. Took some pictures of some really cool celebrities, and took some pictures of some really cool fashion lines, blah blah. But on that note, I just want to say I'm sorry. Kind of got involved with things, and you know, if you spend all your time concentrating on work, what do you have left in terms of your time? Well, I spent it climbing, and then the other portion outside of climbing, I spent it with my friends, I spent it with my family, and I spent it, with, girls that I was dating. So, after all of that, you kind of run out of time. So, all apologies aside, I'm really sorry. But what do I have going on? Well, Evolv sent me some pre-production Supras, and I have to say they're really dope. I mean, they're great. They're really great. If you are completely into edging, man, these are fantastic edging shoes. So, and if you guys are kind of curious as to what I mean by edging, if you guys really love climbing slab, or you guys are out at Joshua Tree or Yosemite and you kind of love putting your foot down on edges, these are a great edging shoe. I noticed that climbing in them, I had to change up my style. I had to change up my game. And typically, as you guys know, I love my Shamans, and I climb in my Shamans 24/7. From my Shamans, I had to change my technique. I had to change my style of climbing, because these shoes don't climb the same way as these shoes. So if you guys were kind of not wanting to go into an aggressive shoe, and you guys were oh, I don't want to go into a Shaman because I don't like my foot in that shape, and I like my foot a little flatter, these are pretty sick, you guys. These are pretty dope. You guys might want to consider these as a shoe for you. And that seems to be kind of where they're at, if you don't like climbing in these, and you kind of wanted something a little bit more aggressive, I don't want to say aggressive, if you wanted something a little bit stiffer, if you wanted something that didn't climb like these are your shoe. Get these, right? These are awesome. So one of the things that you'll notice when, here, let me put these on. They got 3 buckles, so if you're a Velcro buckle person, yeah. All right, so what am I noticing? Well, here's what I'm noticing. A, they rise a little higher, if you feel you don't like a lot of this space right next to your ankle, these come up a bit higher. These come up a bit higher next to your ankle. Oh God, can I not speak? Can I not speak? Let's start speaking again. If you feel like you like higher cut shoes, Supras for sure. Because I feel like they're a little bit higher cut. In terms of the footbed, no love bump. So if you didn't like your foot kind of going like that, if you didn't because that's what these have, is the little, the little love bump inside. If you don't like your toes, curling up, none of that in here. My toes are more flat than in this shoe. The other thing is that they're comfortable. Again, I don't feel like you guys need to go into really uncomfortable shoes anymore. Shoe companies are getting really fantastic. My 5'10" high ankles, comfortable. I don't feel like I'm cramming my foot in them anymore. I mean, I think they're great, just like the Shamans. I freaking love climbing in my Shamans. I love climbing in my high angles. These are really comfortable, right? And in terms of sizing, I typically wear an 8.5. I got these in a 9, and they're great. Like, I've been climbing in them, and they're great. Like, I feel like a 9 is a really fairly comfortable size for me. I think now that I've spent some months in them, I think I would go down to an 8.5, just because a lot of the things that I felt in terms of like how I move my foot and how I wanted to move my foot, I think will be answered in an 8.5. And that's what these are. These are an 8.5. These are an 8.5. I actually got these in an 8, just because I wanted something a little bit different. So what else do I feel? I feel like they're really nice, and I have like a little bit wider of a foot, and I feel like they fit really, really nicely. I love how snug they are on top, like right in through here, probably because of the lacing system. The tongue is super cushy. I really love that. I totally dig that. Super cushy tongues. Who doesn't love that? And what other things do I feel? Yeah, I think that's like initially that's kind of like how it's going to feel. I'm really curious on what the actual production line is. So if you guys don't know how this works, so what ends up happening is that a shoe company will make a shoe, and then they'll send those shoes to their athletes, and then their athletes will write back to them and say, hey, this is kind of like my experience with the shoe, and this is kind of what I think would be better, you know, and they'll just make those opinions, and they'll share their thoughts with the shoe companies. I've already sent mine in, and I've already emailed Evolv to tell them like my thoughts. So I'm really curious as to like what their actual production line is gonna be like. But you know, for a pre-production line or for a pre-production model, they're pretty dope. They're pretty dope. These shoes are, if you are looking for something, these shoes are going to take over what the Luchadors were. So Shamans, and these are obviously the Chronos, these fall kind of like in between. Boop! Like right here. So if you kind of really dug the Luchadors and you're like, oh man, that was kind of my jam, but you felt like there could be improvement in there, they made improvements. So these are the new improvements of the Luchadors. They're no longer called the Luchadors, but they are taking over that space in the Evolv shoe line. And like some people that I've heard, like they thought the rubber was too stiff. Well, they softened up the rubber just a bit. So if you kind of love, like, I felt like they were kind of like the solution rubber, like the La Sportiva solution rubber. You know how that was like a stiff rubber? I think they kind of felt like that, like in terms of rubber wise. They're definitely stiffer. The rubber's definitely softer in the Shamans. So these are a little stiffer, a stiffer rubber. If you kind of dig that, then I would buy them. Yeah, for all you cats that really kind of love like slab climbing or climbing at Joshua Tree or Yosemite and kind of like that kind of edging Tuolumne kind of climbing or friction kind of climbing, I think these are gonna make you guys happy because they're pretty grand that way. Let it be known, like my footwork changed, you know, when I climbed in them. I typically spend a lot of time in like my toe area around here, which is kind of like why I wore out the toe a lot. But these, I spent a lot of time here on the edge. So, you know, like if you wanted to stand on an edge, like I felt like because the rubber was stiff, because the way the shoe is built and the stiffness of the shoe, like if you wanted to hit an edge, these were fantastic. Super, super, super fantastic. And again, a little higher. So a little birdie told me that all the athletes that were, you know, like all the OG athletes that, you know, were climbing in the Astromans, you know, they kind of dug these shoes, you know, and there's talk, I'm not sure if it's going to happen, like right now it was just a thought and an idea for Evolv, to make a shoe with the same premise of these, but make them in like a 3/4, not high top version, but a little higher version around the ankle. I think that'd be really dope. I think that'd be sick if they did that. And I think that's it. You will obviously get a very, very thorough review because, you know, these were pre-production. I'm pretty sure Evolv is going to send the team like actual production lines, so we'll see. You know, you'll get an actual review of these, not like this kind of like mindless kind of babbling that I'm doing right now. But I think on first note, before, if you guys want to wait for the next video, wait for the next video, but I'm fairly positive, and I'll stand behind this for sure, that if you guys were looking for an edging shoe, this is an edging shoe. And I wouldn't be surprised if you guys fell in love with how well these edged, because they're pretty great. I did a whole bunch of edging on the insides, and man, like if you're like a duck kind of climber where you climb kind of duck-footed like this, oh man, these are gonna kill it for you guys. What else? What else can I share with you guys today? I know this was just kind of like a quick hello again update, but I want to talk about the Supras too. I am gonna put out a Shaman update. I've been in the Shamans now for, you know, like very, very close to a year. So, you know, I've got some words. I will put out a video for that. I'm going to put out a video for the cruisers because, you know, the cruisers, I've done some serious cool stuff in the cruisers, so I'm going to put out a video on that. And then I'm back in the Nexos because, you know what? They're coming out with the Agros next month, so I wanted to familiarize myself with their super aggressive Nexos because the Agros are going to take over where this shoe was, or where their shoe is. So the Agros are going to take over the Nexos, and I kind of wanted to have like some fresh memory ideas about these shoes, so when the team reviews the Agros, we'll have something cool to say. So there'll be a video for that too. Probably a short video, or, you know, my terms of short. So, you know, I think that's it. If you guys kind of, you know, want to write in the little comment box, please do. We really love that. You know, like if you want to hear from us, if you want to hear from me or Kate, like Kate's like doing super fantastic, or Katie Joe, can we take 5 minutes to just say that my heart goes out to Katie Joe, because man, she hurt herself. She hurt her L5, and man, I remember what it was like breaking this foot, and God, it's such an inconvenience. So Katie Joe, obviously my heart goes out to you, so, you know, I feel for you, hon. If you guys have anything, and you guys want to talk about shoes, you guys want to talk about gear, you guys want to talk about blah, 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 just, you know, write in the comment section, because, you know, I'm really gonna make this effort to try to put out more content so you guys have, like, more things to watch. So, yeah, I think that's it. We love hearing from you guys. We love to communicate. Obviously, you guys know we have an Instagram, Classic Fantastic Climbing on Instagram. If you guys want to follow me on, like, what I do photographically, it's AKA Photo Boy, if you guys care. And I think that's it. Yeah. So, Jeremy, Classic Fantastic Climbing, thanks again for watching, you guys. We really appreciate it. And write in the comment section if you have anything. Subscribe if you love what we do. And look forward to those upcoming videos, because they're coming. I may just do this video and bulk them all out together, and there may be like 3 or 4 videos coming out all at the same time. Alright, you guys take care. Thanks for watching, and look forward to hearing from you guys. Alright guys, bye.